Right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Senderos webinar. Today, I am introducing Cristina Colin from Caiman, from the sales director of Caiman, Pantanal, probably one of the most well-known wildlife eco lodges, conservation projects, and sustainability projects in Brazil, if not the whole of South America. Cristina will be presenting to us every kind of aspect of the lodge, but we have time to kind of delve into any details during the presentation or even afterwards, which is actually a bit more preferable. So do feel free to ask any questions. And so, yeah, I'll hand over to you now, Cristina, and please go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone here, and then you can get going.
Hi, everyone. I am Cristina, head of sales from Caiman Pantanal. This beautiful lodge, but I can say it's not only a lodge, it's a personal project from our founder called Roberto Clabin. And I'm really proud to present you today a little bit about Caiman. But another example for an important float plan in the world is Botswana in Africa. Okay, imagine that Pantanal, this green area in the map, is the biggest one. It's even bigger than Botswana. So Pantanal, it's an heritage site from UNESCO, okay? And all along the year, this area, it can offer different seasons, different landscapes all along the year, and I will do this comparison because I don't know how much people in this webinar knows about Pantanal yet, okay? But I will take this example from Botswana because not by coincidence, we have a very similar weather. Of course, we are located in the same meridian. When we see our road map, you see the same meridian that pass through Pantanal is the same one that passed through Botswana. So for those who never heard about Pantanal or never been before to Brazil or Pantanal, I think it's a good comparison to do. So we have this season. So we have a totally wet season along the year that all the entire Pantanal gets flooded, until this water starts to come down until beginning of July, it starts the dry season. And suddenly this very wet biome, it starts to be completely dry without no rain at all for more than 2-3 months, and then it becomes a savanna. And all this circle, it starts again, but is this circle that makes Pantanal to be a paradise for wildlife observation. So here in Caiman, it's possible to spot more than 500 different species of birds, reptiles, and mammals. And what we offer here in Caiman, we offer an authentic safari experience in Brazil, really inspired in the South Safari African safaris, okay? And when we travel to Africa, we are always looking forward to seeing their big fives in Africa. But I don't know if you know, but we have our big fives here in Pantanal too. First one is the Darsh, is the Pantanal deer from our area. It's one of our big fives. The second one is are the cutest capybaras. You can see a lot of them around, and I can tell you they are they are more cute in person, even though in the pictures. The third could be, oh my God, who is this strange guy? He's so ugly that he's so cute. is the giants and theater. You can spot giants and theaters all around the Caiman area. And this comic one, this strange one, yes, the tapir, one of the big mammals of South America. Yes, it's one of the biggest mammals, one of the big fives of Pantanal. And the last, but not the least, the jaguars. We are the best place to spot jaguars in Brazil and South America. Okay, so Caiman, it's a 53,000 hectare. We are a private farm that belongs to a family. We are a private reserve and a true oasis of conservation. This private farm, it's huge. Just for you to have an idea, this private farm is around 10% smaller than Singapore. This is just the size in Caiman, the entire Pantanal. So now I can provide you the idea how big, how large is this area inside Brazil. And here I have a video just for you to have an idea and spot how a safari could be in Pantanal. And let's see what we're gonna spot in this safari. Yes, in this safari, we had just a jaguar spotting, but I can tell you all the big fives and all the biodiversity can be spotted here. So why Roberto Klabin, the founder, opened its farm? So he opens Caiman in order to conserve the local fauna, the local flora, and the local culture of Pantanal. That's why Caiman exists, and that's why Caiman was launched 37 years ago. And about our location. Well, arriving in Brazil, São Paulo is the best place to arrive in Brazil. Can be from Rio de Janeiro, can be from Brasília, but São Paulo is the main hub from Brazil. From here, I encourage the guests to stay, the tourists to stay 1 or 2 nights in São Paulo, because São Paulo, it's a very vibrant city. I always say that São Paulo is the New York of South America. It's surprising. And from São Paulo, there are many options of commercial flights to this town here called Campo Grande, okay, that is located in this district called Mato Grosso do Sul, where we are located, where is the south part of Pantanal. It's a 1 hour and 30 minutes fly from São Paulo to Campo Grande. It's not a long fly, but when you arrive in Campo Grande, there are 2 ways to reach Caiman, by plane or by car. By car, it's around a 3.5 road trip to reach us. Of course, a paradise like this, it's located in a remote area, of course, or for those who are a little more demanding. Oh, I would love to see this place, but no, 3.5 hours by car for me, that's not, I can do that. Well, there is an option to have an air taxi, a small aircraft from Campo Grande to Caiman, and we have our own land strip inside Caiman, and this flight takes about 40 minutes only, okay? So in these 37 years, we developed a sustainable system in Caiman that has 3 main pillars. The first one is the livestock, is the cattle ranch, because before being a safari lodge, Caiman has always been a cattle ranch, and we still are a cattle ranch that coexists with the conservation, with the ecotourism, with the wildlife observation, that coexists with many conservation initiatives from NGO organizations that set their bases here in order, to study and to protect many animal species, since many conservation initiatives that we do by ourselves in Caiman. So I can tell you that these three main pillars, they are they are surrounded by the sustainability. They are encompassed by the four C's of the long run. We belong to the Long Run Association, and we are very committed with the four C's: the conservation, community, commerce, and culture. So all these three pillars, they are surrounded by the four pillars of the long run. And when I talked about conservation, I told you that there are some no-profit organizations that we allow to set their bases inside Cayman in order to protect different species. We have the Hyacinth Macaw project. The Hyacinth Macaw is the bluebird, is the blue parrot, one of the biggest parrots in the world. And you can find only in Brazil. We have the Onçafari institution that works with the jaguars. We have the True Parrot project with a base that protects the true parrot bird, one that it's really compromised because of the illegal traffic of animals. So we have a protection and a study area here with this project. And last, not the least, the Instituto Tamanduá that works with the tapirs, not the tapirs, sorry, but with the giant amphitheaters and with the tamanduás. And for a long time, they set their bases first for study, because if you study, you can always know how to conserve a species. But guests here in Cayman, for a long time ago, Cayman developed a way that all the tourists that visit us, they have the opportunity to contribute with these NGO organizations by the ecotourism. The Hyacinth Macaw Institute, or the bluebird, the blue parrot, is in Cayman since 1990. It's more than for more than 30 years here, okay? Founded by an amazing biologist called Neva Getz, that for 30 years studying and doing this work, monitoring the nests, the blue parrots. They triple the size of this species that is no longer in the list of endangered situation. Now they are in the vulnerable one. And it's really nice because all guests, if they want, it's optional because of this is not included in our daily rates, they can pay a donation to the Hyacinth Macaw Institute and spend a morning with the vets, biologists in the fields and see how they do this beautiful work. The same thing happens with the Onçafari organization. They are quite new, I have to say, 30 years from the Hyacinth Macaw and only actually 12 years the Onçafari inside Cayman. But people, believe or not, they changed a lot of things here in Cayman, you know, with the jaguars. Because even though jaguars can be spotted here, I can tell you that 30 years ago, 15 years ago, it was really difficult to spot a jaguar because they are afraid of the cars. Of course, we were, and we still are a cattle ranch. And on that time, they were afraid of the cars. And now, with the Onçafari project working there, they having habituating the jaguars to the safari cars, really inspired what they did in South Africa, especially in the Sabi area. And year by year, these spotting sighting were increasing for 1%, 2%, 10%, 50%. And I'm very proud to say that this picture that you are just spotting now is no longer a rare scene in Cayman. because of this beautiful work, this beautiful partnership together, we are now considered the best place to spot jaguars by land. And our sighting rate from 4 years until now, it's around 98% of success. And this sighting rate is all year long. So we are this huge farm, this huge private reserve, but we are a very boutique lodge. And we want to be like this, okay? We never want to be a resort inside Pantanal. We have this commitment with the wildlife, with the culture, and with the local community. So we have, our lodge has 18 rooms. I have an aerial view here from Casa Caiman that since 2021 is fenced because, yes, when we have a success sighting rate of jaguars of 98%, we can't have no fences anymore surrounding here, okay? So all the wildlife is spread in these 53,000 of hectares, and all the humans are inside the fence, okay? And here we have the Casa Caiman, the very comfortable lodge with two main houses, okay? One if was the original house of this farm, built in 1915, that is totally renewed, and the old house of the owner. And together they create this 18 beautiful room lodge. And like in Africa, the safari games happens twice per day, and in meanwhile, guests can enjoy all the structure of Casa Caiman. Swimming pool, nice bar, gym, very nice restaurant, a very delicious food. And we offer 18 suites in 3 different categories. Suites is this picture here, our entry level, that provides a lot of comfort after a wildlife searching day, in a safari day here in Caiman. We can have twin beds, double king bed. We offer very nice bathrooms and restrooms in each suite with hair dryer, all the comfort, air conditioning, fans, everything that provides comfort after a safari day. We have also a superior suite that is not so different from the first one, is this one, but we can set one more room to host children from 8 years old until 17 in the same rooms of the parents or grandparents and so. And we have also a very nice master suite with 80 square meters. So it used to be the room of the owner, you know, and this room provides much more privacy for guests that need to. So I have a separate living room from the bedroom, a very nice terrace, a lavabo, and a bathroom. And for those who want even more privacy, we have a 6-room private villa located 9 kilometers far away from Casa Caiman called Baiazinha. So in Baiazinha, we have a whole dedicated staff to take care of the 12 guests that we can host here. We have full service, the swimming pool, we have the living room, a host, private car, private guides, all private dedicated staffs for the people who stays here in Baiazinha. We offer 6 rooms. They can be double twin or double, only with a king size bed, and with hammocks in the terrace, and we can deliver all the comfort that we deliver in Casa Caiman. Last year, I'm very proud to share with you that last year we were nominated in the gold list of Condé Nast as a place that should be visited. We are very proud of this too. And like the South African safaris, we deliver a complete experience in our daily rates that include uh, full board as well as 2 safari games per day. Okay, so day and night safaris twice per day, and in one of these safaris, we also like to invite our guests for a Canadian canoe trip during the sunset before the night safari. During the day safaris in the morning, in one of them, we also like during the dry season, I have to say, we really like to invite our guests for an opportunity for a hiking tour with our guides in order to know and discover a little more about the local culture, as well as find some animal tracks along the tour. This is our safari vehicle. We work with share bases. Regular basis is a share basis until 6 people maximum, okay? And always there are a 2 pair of guides. One is bilingual in English and Portuguese, and the other one is the guide who drives the car. It's a native person, born and raised here, that conducts all the guests all around these 53,000 hectares of wildlife. Extra tours that can be included. Bird watching. I have to tell you that Pantanal, it's a paradise for bird watching. More than 350 species of birds were already sighted here, just in Caiman. And the horse riding. It's really special. It's a way, to feel that you are, in a small comitive. We have cowboys with the guests too, and it's a very, very nice way to contemplate this area. Of course, we deliver special moments they are always surprised because nature is 100% in charge here in everything in Caiman. And thank you so much for this presentation. And I would like to know if you have more guests, if you have some questions, and I would love to talk a little bit more with all people.
Oh, thank you so much, Cristina. It's always so nice to hear more about Cayman and to see those amazing images and the wildlife and the experiences and everything. We do have some questions already. As you were talking, people are obviously getting inspired and want to know a few more. Just going to scroll through the yeses and nos to the slides. So from Tobias, he says the big five that you talked about are land creatures. Can you see them in any of the seasons? So even in the rainy season, for example?
Yes, you can spot them all along the year. But one thing that we have just to be aware is that during the wet season, it's not so easy to see as in the dry season, okay? But the spots, they happen all along the year, okay? All
And
along the
so,
year. All
yeah,
of them.
talking about the rainy season a little bit. I mean, it is in our winter time, so December to February time, isn't it? Can you talk to us a little bit about the benefits of visiting in the wet season?
Oh, yeah, certainly I do. Well, a few years ago, no, a long time ago, Cayman used to be closed, during the rain season because it was really difficult to spot, animals. So we prefer to close. But we have to be aware that climate changes, they are happening. And unfortunately, the rain season, I can tell you that the last 5 years, they are not as they used to be. Of course, we have a few days of rain, uh, but it's not any more days and days and days of rainy days. And I have to tell you that Caiman is a paradise for wildlife observation. But it's a 37 years working on conservation here. As a cattle ranch, we are proud to say that the cattle ranch in Cayman can coexist with the wildlife. They don't interfere in each other in a negative way. They now, and it's a 37 year working thing, that we have been doing. So now I can tell you it's a conquer, it's we have our, our high moment
You've
in
achieved your
Cayman.
goals of what you set
Yes,
out to do. Yeah.
because 37 years we have been habituating these animals to the cars. We are a 53,000 hectare where the food chain is complete preserved with no hunters. So yes, I can tell you that you
Yeah.
can see all the species all along the year. Of course, maybe in the wet season, it it won't be so easy to see,
Just
so
naturally.
easy to
Yeah.
spot. But
Because
just
as
naturally,
yeah.
it's naturally. Sometimes you can see all of them. Sometimes you can see four of them because it's a safari, and it can be also in the dry season. In safari, nothing is guaranteed, but
Of course.
everything is possible. And this is all along the year. But we are open all along the year. During the wet season, I can tell you the landscape is amazing. It's amazing. It's so green, so green. And for me, to do the safari, it's really nice because for people who likes, a little bit more of adventure, we go to the wet places with the cars, we try to reach. There was one day that it was memorable for me and for the people that was with me. We were very close to a jaguar. With the Onçafari, they have the special telemetria. Can you assist me with this road?
On their camera, they had a big lens, was it?
They have the cameras in land, but they have like a sign, to find then
Oh, the
a
On Safari
specific
team. Yeah.
sign. Yeah, the on
The
safari
radar.
team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are so close. And then we went inside, the water with the car, and we are so close to the jaguar, and we heard so uh, so loud. They were eating something, but we couldn't spot. And we spotted in the next day another thing. But having these moments is also so nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very
For bird
special.
watching, this is the best season to go. If the person is really a bird watching lover, I would say that is the best place.
I know
The
that
best,
you
the
sent,
best time, sorry,
yeah,
the best
you
season to go.
you sent a mail out about the wet season, so I'll link to that mail out in the follow up as well because it's got some good information there as well. So let's
Yeah.
move on to a few more questions, if you don't mind. So with the wet season, does the airstrip? Can you still fly in and out of the airstrip in the wet season?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Because Cayman is located in an area in Pantanal that we have access all year long.
Oh,
We never
great.
lose access, okay? And many farms in Pantanal actually they can lose total access by land, but we don't. So yes, it's
Okay.
possible to take off and land in the in the last
Great,
trip.
thank you. Can you remember what the supplements are for the Onçafari and the Hyacinth macaw projects?
Oh yeah. So it's a donation, okay, and you have the opportunity to do in a private basis with them, or you have the opportunity to do in a regular basis as well. And they offer the option of they offer the option of just 1 day or to have a 3 day experience, for those who are crazy
Mhm.
about the
What's in the
jaguars,
jaguars?
and
Yeah,
time to them. So it's a established donation, okay? Um,
I've got it
so
in the documents, so I can link to that. But I believe the on Safari is around 360 or something per person. But
yes, it's for a 3 day. It's a Yes,
it's
that's it.
different.
That's it. That's it. It's a 306 dollars per person, and it requires a minimum of 4 people.
Okay, that's just for 1 day though. But again, yeah, I can link through to those. But as Christina just said, the NGOs do work as a separate entity to Caiman completely. They are NGOs, and all of that money goes straight to those NGOs for more research, and it's really amazing spending the day with them. And actually, that leads on to another question: what are the
Yes,
chances
I
of
would say
seeing?
something that everybody must do.
Yeah, and you need to book it in advance, particularly in peak season, because it gets booked up. And that leads on to the next question. What are the chances of seeing a jaguar if they don't spend a day with on safari? That 98% that you told us, Chris, that was for everyone staying at Cayman, wasn't it?
Yes, that is. But I have to, I always say, you can spot jaguars anyway, okay, because it's safari, but because they are the ones who have been habituating them to the vehicles, they stud, they monitor them, you increase the chances. So I would say it's important to book, because
Mm.
if you book a client that didn't see a jaguar, but other clients that did on safari on the same time did, they would be very upset.
Yeah, and also you get to spend the whole day with the on safari team only looking
Yes,
for the jaguars, and so so you spend more time doing that, and you have a more kind of um, yeah, rounded experience for that. So even
certainly.
though
So
almost
I
everyone
would
at
say,
Cayman sees them, you,
because 98% is in general. I
yeah.
can tell you with on safari or no on safari.
Mm. Mm.
Okay.
Okay. What about creepy crawlies? Is it very mosquito infested? Are there lots of
Yes,
mosquitoes?
all year long. It's part of the biome. It's part of the
Yeah.
biome. Of course, in the wet season, there are more mosquitoes. In dry season, fewer, but all year long, we have mosquitoes.
One of the things that I took with me that my colleague Naomi insisted I took with me was one of those hats with a net. And honestly, it was brilliant. I was very pleased to have that. I think I only needed it for one or two of the outings, but yeah, I was very pleased to have that. And then also, actually, interestingly, on the night safaris, it does get quite cold. So that's something to bear in mind. So for people to bring layers is a good idea, but they have blankets and hot water bottles for you to have as well, which is good. Does the English speaking guide sit at the front with the driver or in the back with the guests?
In the back with the guests.
And what is the guide to guest ratio you have now?
Sorry?
The guide to guest ratio. How many guests are there per guide?
Ah, six.
There are six guests, so everybody gets a window seat, if you like. They're open, but
Yes.
there's no. That means
The
there's no
middle
one sitting
seats
in the middle.
are available, and and one of the middle seat in the front is for the bilingual guide.
Um, mm, mm. Does the transfer to the lodge take longer in the rainy season because of the rains, or are you at an elevation that it just kind of misses the lakes and rivers and
It
things?
doesn't change so much, but we have a 36 kilometers of land strip. So sometimes in the wet season, you can be a little bit slower than usual in these 36 final kilometers, but it doesn't change so much.
Okay.
It
Do you
doesn't.
use? Okay, thanks. Do you use any boats for safari activities? Actually, you don't at Cayman, do you?
No,
Apart from the
no.
Canadian
Yes,
cruise.
unfortunately, in this we are not like the Okavango Delta. We have some bays, but we don't have long rivers for safari boats. So, what is important to have in mind about Cayman? We have a car experience, not a boat experience. Boat experience can be in different parts of Pantanal, especially in the north part, but we are 100% by land.
Okay, that's great.
And you get closer, you know, you get closer to the.
Are there any activities included on the same morning as departure for guests who are not departing until after lunch? So if a guest departs after lunch, can that be done? Is there anything they can do in the morning?
Yes, if he leaves Cayman around 11 o'clock in the morning, he can, because it's early in the morning. Normally it starts at 5:30, 6:30 a.m., around 3 hours. So yes, they have a breakfast or a brunch, and then they can leave even after lunch.
Yeah, because the middle of the day is normally kept free, isn't it? Because it's very hot and you see less
Yes,
wildlife then.
it's really hot.
Yeah. Paul has asked if about the transfers at Campo Grande, but actually the transfers are not included in your packages, are they?
No, they are not included in our package, but we can always provide some local vendors, some options for you.
Yeah, most, in fact, most, you work with all DMCs in Brazil as well who know about that transfer time. Oh, and just as a reminder, can you tell everybody what the packages are, the 3 night and 4 night packages, and what months they run on?
Yes, during the dry season, actually a little bit before the dry season, in beginning of May until beginning of November, we work with fixed arrival and departure dates. Okay, so it's always Sundays and always Thursdays. So we have a 3 night experience from Thursday to Sunday, a 4 night experience from Sunday to Thursday, and we can also provide a 7 night from Sunday to Sunday or Thursday to Thursday.
That would be ideal, wouldn't it? A 7 night. And you mentioned children in the rooms, but what is the minimum age for children? Is it 8?
Eight, 8 years
Yeah.
old.
Okay. That's good to know as well. Great. Are there any other questions? I think I've gone through all the ones that everybody popped on there. I can't think of any myself because so much was covered, and it was a really good presentation. I'm just going to go into gallery view. If anybody wants to show their faces and say hi, you can. But yeah, thanks so much, Christina.